Welcome to Module 1. I'm Carolyn Low, and I will be instructing this module together with Olivia, during which we will introduce key risk concepts that will be referred to throughout the course. We'll illustrate these with examples of risk information that we might encounter in our daily lives. This module covers the definition of risk, probability metrics, common confusions with probabilities, low probability high impact events, and the distinction between risk, uncertainty, and the link with decision making.
Let's start by setting out a formal definition. Risk is probability, how likely an outcome is to occur, times consequence, the impact, damage, or harm associated with that outcome. This formula allows us to calculate risk, to put a number on it, provided we have enough information about both the likelihood of the event and the consequences. Why did we want to put a number on risk? Well, we'll often need to weigh up different risks against each other. The risk of getting vaccinated versus the risk of catching a disease, say, in order to come to a decision on a course of action. We also need to put a number on risk when deciding how much to invest in protective actions. For example, we might want to compare a quantified risk estimate of storm damage to our home with a certain cost of taking out insurance. Now, we'd like to highlight that this definition of risk refers to consequences generally, and not just to negative impacts or outcomes. It's useful to bear in mind that risk isn't bad in itself. In fact, we do talk about taking a calculated risk, meaning that sometimes we'll decide on a course of action that might have negative consequences, as long as the chances of a desirable outcome are high enough. Think of friends who've left a steady job to fulfill their dream of starting up their own business. There's certainly a chance that their startup won't work out, but the expected benefits and satisfaction they'll experience if it does work out could tip their decision in favor of the risky option.
When you hear the word risk, do you think more about opportunity or danger? A global survey conducted in 2019, the LRF World Risk Poll, asked this very question to 150,000 people all over the world. You can see here that the majority of people across all regions associate risk with danger. But there is a sizable minority who think of risk primarily as opportunity. This is most striking in Central Asia and North America, where over a third of people think of risk more as an opportunity than danger. The feeling of risk, the thrill, is sometimes part of what makes an activity desirable. Think of extreme sports. Grand Prix drivers and hang gliders are well aware of the risks they are taking. For them, not only does the pleasure of the activity outweigh concerns about the dangers, the risk itself may heighten their enjoyment of the experience. Not all of us have this kind of appetite for risk, of course, but another example that many people may relate to is playing the lottery. In a sense, buying a lottery ticket is irrational. The ticket is a certain cost, and the chances of winning a significant amount of money are absolutely minute. But the amount of money spent on a single ticket is low. And just imagining the prospect of having a chance at a big win is an enjoyable sensation for many.
Let's focus in now on probability. Probability is an important foundational concept in this course, one that we need to have a clear grasp of when communicating about risk. We might have learnt this before, but in any case, it's a good idea to refresh our memories. Carolyn, could you talk us through an example?
Sure. In my hand is a standard 6-sided dice. The chances of it landing on any one side are equal. How can we express the probability of rolling any particular number? Let's say a 3. Speaking casually, we might use a verbal expression such as "not very likely." But this is open to interpretation. We are not sure if the person we are speaking to will understand "not very likely" in the same way we do. So to be more precise, we can use a numerical expression. There are several ways to do this. As a fraction, 1/6. As a percentage, 17%, rounded to the nearest whole number. Or as an odds ratio or natural frequency, there is a 1 in 6 chance of rolling a 3. The last numerical expression is probably the most intuitive way to express probability and appears to be the one most easily understood and applied by the general public.